All right. Welcome to day 158. I'm so tired. It's not even funny. Um, it's literally not funny, but it's all good. I I actually had a productive day today. I can't complain too much, but I'm tired. It's like we've officially this is like day 7 of the Hacker House, I guess. Being open. I cannot believe it has not been a month. Like how it's only been a week, I don't know. uh I may or may not be going crazy, but it's all good. What was I gonna say? Yeah, today I actually wrapped up the MVP developer training. We had our last session, so I wrapped that up. I actually got a couple action items off of my list that was revolving around that. I actually want to spend some time like chopping up the content for that course and getting it a little bit more polished up for like the on demand option. But for now, anybody who was like taking the course or is currently enrolled, they have like immediate access to the stuff that they need. Um, I'm gonna run I'm gonna be running some more certification sessions in the next couple weeks as well. My first certification session coming up is gonna be on Tuesday. It's not gonna be as bad as the last one because the last one was like the last certification had I want to say like I had like 8 or 9 people all in one session, like over the period of like 5 hours or so. That was a lot to manage. And there was a few people that I need to retake. So I already have a couple people on the docket for this upcoming week, and then I also have let me see. I don't know what this balance is like on the music. I also have oh, today since today was the last day for one of the sessions, then I have some folks that are fresh out of the course, so they are going to be signing up for certifications too. But yeah, so that class is done. I've been teaching on Saturdays since I haven't had my Saturdays free since before conference. Like I think the week before we had conference is when this cohort was supposed to start. So yeah, it feels nice. I'm not gonna say my Saturdays are free, because I really wanted to start going to I want to start going to my church and doing setup on Saturdays, and I just usually have something else going on, like I'm usually training or teaching or something like that on Saturday, so I haven't been like at all since I started going there. So we'll see. I'll probably end up swapping out class for um going to setup. Although setup is like at 1 o'clock, so that's nice, but setup is like manual labor that we literally have to set the entire sanctuary up on that Saturday to be prepared for Sunday. So I don't know, we'll see. This week is nice though. I mean, I should have a slightly lighter program week and like my brain should not be as fried, hopefully, because at the end of what I'm thinking about, like at the end of Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So this next week coming up, basically, I don't have to host the session. The session is hosted in Ann Arbor this week. So this like the past Tuesday, I actually had to host a speaker in the house on top of moving everybody in and getting used to having people in the house. Um yeah, this week is a little bit lighter in that regard, but this week is like kind of getting into the thick of it with like the folks that are in the house, making sure they're building, like coaching them throughout the week and stuff like that. So it will be busy. It'll just be hopefully not as much like logistical things that I have to focus on. Um Justice's birthday is on Saturday or Friday. One of those. I don't remember which date it is, but his birthday is this week at the end of the week. I think it's Friday. Yeah, his birthday's on Friday, so I have to just put some time towards his birthday and letting him have a good day and everything like that. Wednesday at my church is going on like a river cruise, or some people from the church are going. The church like sponsored. this. So it's a nice little outing, nice little summer outing, and I'm actually looking very much looking forward to going on the cruise. I need some fresh air, and I actually got a babysitter, which is crazy. I'd never get a babysitter, so it'll be like a time to really just enjoy myself. Have some downtime, have some adult time, all that good stuff. What else? I don't even know what else, man. I feel like I'm slowly going insane, but like I said, it's all good. I just need to. I definitely need to focus on keeping my energy up and keeping my battery charged, right? Because now is very challenging with all the things that is going on. I'm glad that the MVP program is done because realistically, like, I really just wanted to stay in the bed today. I didn't even want to leave the house. I really wanted to just focus on getting my life together. I have so many things to do around my house, like so many things to do. And honestly, I just like being at home. Like I like enjoying my quiet time and stuff like that. Um, I have yet to put my keyboard up, and like I got my guitar sitting over here like half unzipped, just peeking out like, hey, do you wanna spend some time with me or no? So I feel like I will be like I need some margin. I need some margin. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I need like just some downtime that is more me focused. I haven't, just working on my music, I think will make me feel really good. I do want to start working on my setup. I was kind of talking about this earlier, but like I want to start working on my setup because I want to be able to like record covers and stuff like that. I've never done that before. Like I'm very experienced and comfortable with using all my tech when it comes to live streaming, recording, all that. But music is like a whole nother beast. I might have to pull out a mixer and I don't know. Last time I tried to hook a mixer up to my computer, we did not get along, and I ended up getting the Go XLR instead. So I don't know. It's just my office is leaving a lot to be desired right now. So I just want to get my life together. That's pretty much all I can ask for. But it's all good. Like I don't want to make it seem like I'm upset because I'm really not. Like it's a blessing to be busy. And I know there's like these different opportunities that are coming, and they are a lot of opportunities that are growing as well. So I'm excited about that. I just think I have to find new systems to support the new things that I'm doing. I have to find new systems to live in this new version of my life that I am building right now. So that's just it. Like I'm very proud of myself, honestly. Like I'm gonna turn it into a reel, but I posted this video on my stories the other day because it was right after we finished the Tuesday session, the first presenter. And I was just so proud of myself because I'm like, not saying that I did it all on my own or anything like that, but really just the fact that I haven't like walked away from the commitments that I've made. I haven't, given out or anything like that. Like I've been challenged, I've been struggling, I've been going through my own personal stuff outside of actually having to run these programs and my big thing is I still been pushing through at the end of the day. Like I have to be proud of myself for that, because knowing what I know about myself, my situation, and what's going on in my life on a daily basis, I know not a lot of people can handle what I like the lifestyle that I live personally. I know not a lot of people can handle that. I know that even like former versions of myself could not handle that. I have like a lot of anxiety sometimes, and just it's a lot of things that I have to deal with. So I know that this these type of make or breaks, like seeing myself show up and get the work done, and really be committed regardless. That is something that I can be proud of myself for. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this entire week I've been going through like an emotional roller coaster because one second I'm like frustrated and exhausted and I'm just like, I'm over this. And then I immediately like shift my whole perspective to just being grateful, honestly, because I have to be grateful. Like it's a blessing, like I said. So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm proud of myself, like I said. So I do need to be very intentional and start rolling some stuff off my plate, or just start cleaning up some stuff. I keep having too many things like hanging in limbo, um or hanging in limbo for too long, and that's not really doing me, and that's not serving me. So yeah, I'm just focused on that. Like every week is a new iteration, every day is a new iteration, actually. So yeah, today I just felt like it was best for me to get up and go over to the house to even teach, just because I knew I already had to do some stuff over there, and then I had to teach from like 9 to 12. So I already kind of felt like if I didn't get up and move at that time, then by the time 1 o'clock rolled around and I was done with class, I probably wouldn't have left. I probably wouldn't have left the house at all. So it's good, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So some things that are on my plate right now. Um, I was talking about school because y'all know I'm supposed to go back to school. I've been working on this, but it's kind of slid to the back burner again. And I really, really like now I have to go do my new timeline, and I'm not feeling it. Like I don't like waiting sometimes. Like I just need help. I need help. I be impatient. The thing about like higher education is like when you miss a deadline, like you basically push your whole timeline back by a year. Um, yeah, so I'm a little disappointed by that, but it's all good because I think the next OMSCS deadline was going to be like in August, and I'm not making that deadline. So, but I think that it's very realistic for me to make the March deadline. And I just need to look at the timeline and see what that means. I don't like, I'm still going, I'm not really going back and forth about it. Technically, after finishing, I could apply to PhD, or I could do like instead of going straight to the OMSCS program, I could also like I could do an alternative route. And I really haven't thought too much about that, honestly. I'm really just saying it out loud. Um because like the whole point of doing the OMSCS is really to prepare myself for PhD. And it's also the fact that I don't feel like I don't think I want to go into a residential program. Like, a PhD is not something you could do online. I don't feel like I can go into like going back to school full time in person right now. I would rather do that once it's time for justice to start school, which is like 3 years. That's why it just made so much sense to do like the masters in between and everything. But now that's cutting it a little short because that master's program is 3 years. Um, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just like stressing over some of the smaller details. But yeah, ultimately 1 year in the scope of like a 7 year process. It's not that big of a deal, but I do want to make sure that I'm not constantly pushing that timeline back. Like I can't miss that deadline again. And that's the expectation that I'm putting on myself because I know how I will personally feel if that happens again. Um, and I don't necessarily think it's anybody else's fault or any other influence other than I need to make it a priority if it's a priority. So that's just something I'm reflecting on right now. Dre, I really appreciate it. Y'all know the moral support. I be trying to give y'all moral support. I appreciate the moral support too. Um, but yeah. So I'm going to get my life together. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm just so, oh my God. When I tell you, I am so happy that I have been like protecting my Sundays, like protecting my Sabbath. And I'm so happy that I've been protecting my sleeping time, like it seems so little. It sounds so little, but like I promise you I would have snapped on somebody by now. I know like bro, I'm just it's a lot going on, and as much as I try to be patient, like I get really frustrated with a lot of things that don't make sense to me. And I try to be, so much. I really have been like trying to be patient. I pray for patience. Like, I pray for, um, like the emotional capacity to give people grace and things like that. So yeah, knowing what I know about myself, I'm like, if I wasn't getting enough sleep, or if I wasn't, if I was basically burning out because I'm just working like 7 days a week, I would not be I would not be a good person to work with. So I'm glad I've been protecting that time for myself and for others. Definitely. Um, and I'm leaning into it more. It's uncomfortable a lot of times because people are always asking more and more and more and more and more of you, and whether they have ill intentions or not, like people will literally drain you and run you into the ground. Um, Sometimes unapologetically, and it's crazy. So yeah, I'm just glad I've been really focused on like getting enough sleep, getting rest. I go to church faithfully like every Sunday. I have to get the time, like I have to have like it's that's not my only spiritual time throughout the week, because if it was I wouldn't be making it. But it helps after I've been through the week, and kind of, I might be able to like talk to different friends here and there. I have my own like time to pray or read the Bible, have devotionals and that kind of stuff. Have worship time, all that throughout the week. But it still just hit different when you have like a good church home, and you have a space where you can like worship in, you have like you around other believers and stuff like that. Like that is something that I didn't realize I missed so much until I committed to going back to church consistently. So I'm so glad I've been doing that. And then my friend goes to church with me now. So usually after church, like me, she had her daughter comes to church with us, or one of her daughters comes to church with us, and then it's just me, her, and her daughter and Justice. So like usually after we got to church, then we all just kind of hang out, have a good day. Like we've been going roller skating and little stuff like that. Because they put an indoor skating rink downtown. So that's just it's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, do it for the both of us. Look, look, okay. I'm proud of myself. I used to be a little firecracker. I have toned down so much, but it's like I'm naturally like a fiery person. And a lot of times I don't even mean nothing by it. Like that's just the way I am. That's just the way I am. But it's not always, a lot of times it's counterproductive. And that's something that, I've learned over time. And just like trying to grow and develop as a leader, you gotta be a little bit more a little bit more on the mellow track a lot of times. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm just trying to think about my week, honestly. Monday, I got to do stand-ups on Monday, so I'll be at the house on Monday for sure, like bright and early. So let me make sure I go to bed early on Sunday. Now, what I'm probably about to do, even though I don't feel like it, I'm probably about to do my hair, because I really want my hair braided, and I at least need to go back through and recolor my hair, because as much as this looks nice and icy blonde, like I got some orange in my roots. Y'all not even gonna be able to see it. You can kind of see it, like it's a little darker. Not my actual black, but because my hair grows so fast that I already have roots from the last time I bleached my hair. But the last time I bleached my hair, like my roots were kind of brassy. So I needed to go back through and do another round of bleach at this point. I got a whole set of new girls. So we gonna see how that works. But I really need to do my hair. So at the very least, I gotta go back through and do that other round of bleaching because I'm so anal when it comes to like when I put my braids in, I don't like you showing off all your roots once you part your hair like that. I can't stand like my color like a bad dye job. I can't. Not on me. I've been dyeing my hair since I was like 15. So I hate that. I hate that so much. So I know that's why I didn't put my braids in because after I saw that I still had like some brassy roots, I'm like, yep, nope, because then I'm be walking around hating my hair and being mad, and I put all the energy into like, let me not even do that to myself. That was pretty much my whole situation that I had. Is this thing restart? Is this thing? Oh, these phones. I got a whole stack of iPhones over here that I'm trying to figure out like what I can use. But yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna do my hair tonight. I really need to just put on a playlist. I probably got a whole bunch of like sermons or something that I haven't watched that I wanted to. I'm about to put on a playlist or something like that and just it really won't take that long if I like commit to it, but I don't have all the exact items that I need. I forgot I was supposed to go to the beauty supply today. At this point, that ship has flown. So I'm gonna have to work with what I got. Yeah, I think I got enough stuff. So hair, tomorrow get up and take my butt to church. If I'm smart, I'm gonna put my outfit out in advance. So when I get up in the morning, I could just go. And that way I could sleep a little longer because I usually don't make it to church until 11. We have like a 9 and 11 service, and I usually don't make it till 11. Um, so I have to get up by 8, I think, just to make sure me and Justice like completely get ready. But if I get my stuff together, I can get up at 9:30. Now is that gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I got a little bit of a second wind, this much of a second wind. And then Monday I gotta do stand ups. Let me look at my calendar. Tuesday, like I said, we have a workshop, but I don't have to go to it in person. Um, wait, I'm looking at the wrong day. Hold on. Which one is this? I'm confused. He put the same one on here multiple times. Anyways, let's look at my schedule. What else I gotta do? Yeah, I'm just the big thing I have to focus on this week is actually working on my own freaking projects. I need to work on my own stuff. So that is like high priority. I have some features I need to get into some type of demoable state. And I need to because it's already June. Oh my God. I need to actually put the timeline out and start promoting the free code camp boot camp. Like I have to do that. I have to. I really need to be publishing that by the end of the week because I really should have had it out before June started because I want to start that in July. But I think Independence Day is that first week, right smack dab in the middle of the week. So I'll probably start it the second week of July. Yeah, I'll probably start the second week of July. So I kind of already have my plan in mind for that, but I need to set up like Discord server channels, figure out like a whole flow of how I'm gonna manage the students and everything. Um, yeah, so It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad of a week compared to this past week. This past week was like, help, help me, help. But I am glad that I spent the time to like prepare some of the stuff that I needed to do. No, I do not work at Meta. I actually had this name for like almost 10 years now. They actually hijacked my name. um, but yeah, so I forgot I was saying that I need to I need like a little like little thing that just says like, no, I don't work for Meta, they stole my name. That is so funny to me. I thought so hard about my name when I chose it way back when I was first getting started in tech, and it has served me well. And I'm glad. I'm like, I'm so glad that I've been doing stuff. Like, I've been doing so much over the years that my Google search is not like hijacked by them or anything like that. But yeah, I had this name since like I feel like I'm trying to figure out, did I make the name like before I went to my coding boot camp? Cuz I took my boot camp in like 2016, but I started learning how to code in like 2014. Yeah, they came along and just hijacked it. Like, at least it's not so bad now, because before it was like embarrassing, because for a second it was kind of like I didn't even want to be associated with like Meta in that way. Like, oh, Meta dev. Oh, do you work for Meta? But now, you know, they I think they are a little bit better. They went through the whole like metaverse thing, that kind of flopped, and that was a little embarrassing for us all. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed vicariously. But yeah, so anyways, but welcome in, cinnamon loaves. Your name is making me hungry, super hungry. um I was trying to think. I will. Okay, so my goal is for us to get back to some more formal streams. Um, Formal in the sense that like I haven't had any, like I've been kind of all over the place with everything that's been going on, so I haven't had any like dedicated like working streams for real. And I think right now I'm giving my stream is giving I'm all over the place, which is true. Which is kind of what 365 days of code is. But um I still want to be intentional about my content, and now that I'm used to streaming every day, I am going to start trying to get back to some consistency in my stream, as far as like the types of streams, or when certain streams are going to happen. And I have to make sure that I get back to having the podcast regularly, and actually starting to post the podcast across the those none of my podcasts right now are actually on any podcasting platforms. They're all just live podcasts that are basically go to video podcast format. So that's something that I kind of got to clean up. So I don't know, it's exciting. um yeah, I think once I get a little breathing room, it'll be good. I'm excited. The next thing, man, I promise you, like y'all gonna know when I make my next goal. My next goal is to get another Wrangler. I've been missing my Wranglers so bad, so bad. And it's summertime now. Well, summer is like officially starting in a couple weeks. And I want a Wrangler before the summer is over. Like by the next month, I need something in the driveway. Because I'm so like I get so much out of being able to be outside and go out and get fresh air. Like, I don't necessarily always need to be socializing with people, because I am an introvert. So like I do well having alone time. Um, But just that freedom that I had and just being able, I never even really got to fully embrace it because right after I got my Wrangler the last time, I got pregnant like within 6 months. Not even. I'm trying to think. I I got, yeah, within 6 months probably because I think I got it like maybe in the spring, early spring. No, I don't know, but either way, I literally like it might have even been like 3 months later. I was pregnant, so some of the stuff that I wanted to do, I've never really kind of got a chance to. And then I had a newborn and a two-door Wrangler. That was not it. That was not it at all. It was uncomfortable because I had to squeeze his car seat over, like it's a two-door Wrangler, so you just gotta pull the seat up, like lean the seat forward and climb in the back. I had a car seat though, so I had to literally like maneuver his little car seat in. But now he's at this. I was thinking about getting a four door. I don't know if I'm getting a four door. I think it'll be more convenient, but for what I want to do with my Jeep, like I don't really want a four door. I just know it'll be more convenient to have a four door. But because now he's big enough to where he can start sitting forward, like he can sit in his car seat facing forward now. So I might end up getting a two door. So we'll see. That's like, but like that is my thing. Like if I get that checked off, I got my budget for it. I just need the finances to like align. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be Nunu. I'm gonna be Nunu. Do you have any tips for working more efficiently? I feel like I'm always slowing behind on deliverables. Look, um, I don't have it with me. I was about to show you, like I have to plan everything. I have to put everything on my calendar. And then I have to like sometimes if you feel like you're not making your deadlines, um you might it might be helpful to break your project up into smaller chunks so that you know, like, okay, you have like certain checkpoints basically. So if I know that I have to do a specific feature, then if I can break it up into smaller pieces and actually schedule out those smaller pieces, it's easier to know when you're getting off track and when you're getting behind, and you would know it earlier rather than later. um and for me, I have to overestimate how much time it's going to take me to do something. We always underestimate how much time it's going to take us. That's something that just in general we tend to do. And when you overestimate the time, you give yourself more buffer for like actual life to happen. So that helps out a lot. Um and I would say, for the record, feeling slow and behind and being slow and behind are two completely different things. So it's totally fair that that might actually be the case, but I feel like that a lot, and I felt like that a lot in the past. And in a lot of circumstances where I felt like I was just not keeping up, it really was just me feeling that way, but that was not the impression of the people around me who worked with me. So if you get that feedback, it's something to take into consideration, of course. Um, but oftentimes, if you are, if you have very high goals and very high expectations of yourself, we tend to be overly critical of ourselves as well. So I have to throw that out there because I don't know the context, but I know I'm like very hard on myself. Broke down the quarterly goals into weekly goals. Yes, yes. Break your quarterly into weekly, and then break your weekly down into a couple days or something like that. That should help because, like, okay, if it's a quarterly goal, yeah, if you break it down weekly, then after a couple weeks of you not hitting your like smaller checkpoints, then it'll be obvious to you that you've fallen behind. Um, but if it's like for a smaller, like a weekly thing, then yeah, giving yourself which tasks you have to complete, like each day or every couple of days, that helps. Use a tracking tool, whatever is simple. Don't go too complicated, cause that be me. I like Trello, or if you doing it for work, you might already have a tracking tool. Um, but yeah, I'm so technical, but also I lean heavily into my calendars and my planner. And a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, you're so anal about your calendar, da 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 da," and I'm like, I actually don't like this. Like, I don't like planning. Like, I like to know what to expect out of life. Don't get me wrong. But I don't like planning. Like, I don't just love sitting around filling out calendars all day. Like, actually, I be trying to. I try to do things like um I try to go with the flow. It's like I got it all in my head what I need a calendar for, but that's not real life. That's not real life. I like planning more than doing. Look, see, yeah, we opposite for sure. Um, so if you like planning more than doing, yeah, maybe focusing on like you probably have no issue then like getting it all lined up, breaking it down. Cause I'll be the person where it's like I'll be trying to have loose ideas of what's gonna happen. And sometimes it be too loose to the point where it's not actually helping me track nothing. But yeah, breaking it down and then knowing which goals you gotta hit, that'll keep you on track. And then give yourself a, you can give yourself a reward too. Like, I've been working for my Jeep. Like, when I think, okay, because I'm like, I have clients, I take projects, I have other stuff. Like, I could be just kind of sitting around chilling. Honestly, I don't have to be doing as much as I'm doing, but I always have like certain goals attached to things, and that helps me out a lot. So like right now, I know that I'm trying to save the money for my Jeep because I just want to buy one outright. And I know how much my budget needs to be and all of that. So that helps me when I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, I don't need to do no other projects. Like, I could just sit back and chill. I'm like, actually, I need this many dollars. So I need to take on these projects because I do client work, but I don't really like going, I'm not like a salesy person. I don't like going and finding leads. And sometimes it takes a lot to nurture those like relationships to actually get them to a point of like, you are actually working together on something. You got to chase people down for invoices and like, it's a whole thing. But yeah, having the goals, it's like, okay, saving to buy outright. Look, I didn't do that first to last time, and I wish I did. I wish I did, honestly. But I was just so eager. So, and also the pricing, the market was not really good back then. That was during the pandemic, and the car, that was right after we like came out of lockdown and stuff. But the market was just really a seller's market because everybody was trying to buy their own vehicles. Everybody was trying to buy a car during the pandemic. But now I know, like, I know better what I'm looking for. And I just, like, because of the way I work too, I don't want a car note. Like, it's just going to give me a headache, honestly, because I enjoy being able to have the flexibility where, yeah, I like having the flexibility where I could take my projects and then if I need a break, I could take a break. If I add another $1,000 per month, because realistically, if I got a Wrangler with a car note and car insurance in Detroit, Detroit car insurance is like the highest car insurance you can ever pay. If I had a Wrangler and a car note, like a car note and car insurance, I'm basically gonna be paying a whole nother $1,000 a month. And by the time I did that for a year, I could have bought one outright. So my plan actually just, and again, that's now I have that motivation because I know I just don't want the headache. Like, I don't want the headache of that. I'm trying to enjoy having a car. So yeah, I'm planning on actually paying for it outright and also like paying for all of my insurance outright for the year. Because also your car insurance can be like, at least for us in Detroit, like our car insurance can be way higher because if your car is financed, then you have to have like top tier, basically full coverage on it, versus if you own your car, you can have more control over what type of plan that you want versus what type of plan the finance company wants you to have. So that even saves you money. um So yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited. Cinnamon Loaves, what do you work on, by the way? I don't know if I've seen you in here before, and if I have, I apologize because it had been so long since I streamed, and now I stream every single day because your name seems kind of familiar. Um, but yeah, I can't wait. And then the other thing too is I'm not about to. I know when I get my Wrangler, I'm about to start like modding it immediately. On my old Jeep, I didn't hardly do any changes. The only things I did like some really simple stuff. On when I get my Jeep this time, I'm about to go crazy, like instantly. I'm gonna be working on my Jeep all the time. And that'll give me something else to do. That's outside of the house and don't got nothing to do with this dang on computer. Ooh we look, see, that's a way to get you perked up. That's a way to get me motivated for the week. I'm like, I need my baby back. I need my baby back. Corporate software dev. Yeah, okay. No, because I'm like, your name looks familiar, but yes. I'm glad you came in to chat. Um, yeah, so how long have you been in a dev then? I'm like somewhere but I'm getting close to like 10 years, which is weird. I think since I officially took my first like full time like salary like software job, it's been I took that one in 17 or 18. It might have been 17. So it's somewhere between 6 and 7 years of it, like since that, like, oh, I have like a full time software job, I have benefits and all that. It's been a little bit longer from for me because when I first got started, I learned like front end stuff. I was like taking workshops and like doing self teaching and stuff like that. And then I learned I started freelancing, like doing like small like websites and stuff for small businesses to like build my portfolio. So I kind of had all that. I had that experience before I went into my boot camp. I took a boot camp in 2016, I want to say. And then right after my boot camp, I actually taught at the same boot camp for a year. I was like I managed a well first I was a TA for a Java apprenticeship. Then I ended up taking like a full-time role there. I taught front end and managed an apprenticeship for a year. Then I went into after that. That's when I went into like my first like full-time software role. So by that time, yeah, it was like 2017, 2018, something like that. Like 6 years, but it still feels so new. That's crazy because like now I'm at a point where I feel way more comfortable. I went through like a really rocky phase of like imposter syndrome and like being at my peak of like I was killing it, crushing it, but at the same time, I did not feel like that. So now I feel like I'm a lot more laid back and chill about things. I don't feel like I know everything by any means, at all. I don't feel like I know hardly anything most of the time, but I now feel I'm at a point where I feel comfortable. Like I feel comfortable not knowing. Um, it doesn't stress me out not knowing. It's more so like when I see something, I'm like, I'm not overthinking it. I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out. And I've always known like that. I've always had that thought process, like, oh, I'll figure it out. But when I first started, basically, like I said, when I came out of my boot camp, I was teaching and I was still very fresh on in my career at the time, but I was really good at teaching and I was really efficient at teaching as well. So I was good at it, but because I was still so fresh, I was very uncomfortable sometimes um in covering my material because I will always worry like, what if they ask me a question I don't know? And then like I would just have this like impending sense of doom, which was like also me not knowing that I had uh anxiety and like panic attacks and stuff like that. I didn't realize I was going through that at the same time. So it was different because when I first started out like taking those like official like full-time roles, I was always like on edge. I feel like Cause, okay, you're on the cusp of coming out of it. Yeah, it's really nice to. I can't say it's like it's completely gone away or anything, but the year before last, I want to say I was applying to this teaching position. It's teaching. It's like a boot camp teaching position, and they were like, first I was applying. The way that the program worked, first I was applying for like to teach just for their intro program, and then after they saw my teaching demo, which was basically what I had to do for my application, after they saw my teaching demo, they were like, "Would you be interested in applying to teach for the full program?" Which apparently was like kind of, I guess, a higher caliber of application. So I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they were like, "Okay, we need you to do this we need you to do this tech assessment." And it's like due in 48 hours or something. I don't know. It was like a quick turnaround time. I was not expecting to have to do that, and I knew I had came a long way when they just threw that at me, and I was like, sure. And then I got on there, and I'm like, I don't even write like at that point I was coming out of more back end, and they really, it was like a front end like assessment that they gave me. It was like a full stack assessment that they gave me, but it was just some stuff that I don't write all the time. Like it's like I know the concepts, I know how to do it, but I gotta look this up. But I didn't feel stressed about it. I was just like, oh, I'll figure it out, do it, turn it in. Like it was just so much more. It felt a little bit more effortless just to go through that process. That's when I felt like, okay, now I feel a little bit more comfortable. I could tell that I'm feeling more comfortable. um versus being like, oh no, now I gotta go and it's try to sit through a whole like Java, like I would have tried to sit through like a whole like workshop online or something like that, or take a whole little course online just to just to do an assessment. Like I don't know. But yeah, it's imposter syndrome is like wicked. Also, imposter syndrome plus anxiety, or like if you have like panic attacks and stuff like that, all those things mixed together are like that ain't it. So I actually took a break. Um, I actually took a break back in 2020. Actually, it was in 2020, between 2020 and 2021. I was super burnt out. I took a break. God forbid you got ADHD. Look, okay, you putting extra stuff on top. It's just a mess. For real. I took a break back in 2020 because like my mental was like completely done. I was like really in a bad state at that point, and it's really sucks because I was enjoying my work. I was enjoying the company I worked for, the team I worked for, this work I was doing. Like everything was so rewarding. I felt like I was like, that was like the first point since I started learning how to code and started like trying to transition. That was literally the first point where I was like, I felt like I had reached the goal of like what I wanted my life to look like, or what I wanted my career to look like in making that transition. I definitely felt like I was at that point where I was like, I made it type of thing. Not that it was my first job at all, but for a lot of reasons I was finally like, oh, I made it. And then your girl crumbled slowly but surely. But I was burning myself out too. And that's why I'm very conscious now of what I focus my time on and how I use my time, because I'm a busybody. Like I be all over the place. I love doing like different working on different things. Like I never like, being focused on one thing at a time. Um I like to have different projects, different everything, which is cool. It's just that really really weighs on you, especially like, if you work on in like a high um if you work in a field where something is like super mentally taxing, and then you also like don't give yourself no type of breathing room, it's a recipe for disaster. So when I was going through that phase, I also had just came off of like a year of planning a 15,000 person convention. I was running meetups, I was teaching on the side, and I was a full-time software engineer on call, like pager duty. um I ended up having an ACL surgery. Went on leave for like 3 months and came back. I had to come back to a whole new software stack because I was like out of the loop for 3 months straight. And then they're like, we're not gonna put you back on call just yet. We gonna let you, get up to speed. Why as soon as I started getting back into the on call rotation, I got paged every time I was on call, and it was like 6 people in our rotation. It was like 6 people in our rotations. We did like 1 week as the secondary and then 1 week as the primary. I promise you, nobody else got paged but me. And I got paged for like months in a row. Like, I got paged over and over and over again every single time I went on call. And then it was always like, we don't even know why. We don't even know why you got. I didn't mind the on call rotation the way it was because I wasn't like fully like when I was secondary. I wasn't fully on call. I was If you're a secondary, you would just be the backup. Actually, when I was a secondary, I didn't have to worry about nothing because that meant somebody else was on call and they were not going to get paged. I was always going to get paged though. I got paged every single time. So the way we were doing it on our team at the time, I think it was like 5 or 6 of us in the rotation, and you would be on call for 1 week. But basically, you could, we had a primary and secondary. So if primary don't respond, then secondary gets paged. Once secondary don't respond, then the director of engineering get paged. Actually, no, that's not true. Once secondary don't respond, then the VP of engineering then the VP of engineering gets paged. Um, but we hardly ever had, like, the secondary hardly ever had to pick up a page. So more so, the secondary person was helping like keep the context in between. So yeah, at the time, I never minded being secondary because I knew my primary was always gonna pick up. The problem was how I was always getting paged. Like, why? Like, why is this happening to me? Um, and like I said, it wasn't just getting paged. Like, it's one thing when you get paged and you know how to fix it. It's another thing when you get paged and literally nobody knew why it was happening. Actually, it was like a time frame where our services were going into production. So it was still just like a lot of things that we were just trying to figure out. I don't know. That's like the pager system wasn't broken. It was weird. It was super coincidental that a quirk always happened when I was on call. Like, it got to it got to a point where my engineering director would just be looking at me like, I'm so sorry. Because it's like, what can you do? It was so random, but at the same time it wasn't, because it was like every 6 weeks we our stuff going down and we don't know why. It was always something like quirky, you know what I mean? Like I said, our stuff was going into production, so it was also a matter of us figuring out what was the right cadence to page on, to notify on, and I don't know, it was just weird. The fact that I was getting paid like that was crazy, and it like that wore on me for real, because that's so exhausting. Like I said, it's different when you get paid and you actually have a problem to solve, but a lot of what was going on at that time, for some reason, like, it would just be different situations where our services would just, maybe the threshold of paging was just too high and a specific incident will happen like right when I'm on call. um yeah. But even though it was kind of sucky, I mean, my team was great. I liked what I did. Everything was good, but I was so exhausted, um, just mentally from that, because I basically knew it got to a point where I'm like, after you get paid like 3 rotations in a row, you might as well just be prepared for it. So now you like gotta make sure that phone ring. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was in so many I was in so many not retros, but postmortems, so many postmortems, so many. I wrote so many postmortem docs. I learned some stuff though. I missed it. It was just so much more. A lot of it too, like I said, a lot of it was because I was just stretched too thin. So my job was literally like my job was hard. Like I was learning a lot of new things. Like I was advancing really quickly too. Like I was getting promoted quickly. So I know like I was actually keeping up way more than I thought I was. Um it was also a weird thing where I think mentally I was comparing myself to the other people on my team. Should you ever compare yourself to people? No. Do we compare ourselves to people all the time? Because how else am I going to track my progress other than looking at everybody around me and how they and where they are? But at the time when, like, right before I left that job, they ended up starting to give us software levels, but we didn't have levels before that. So literally everybody that was a software engineer, and I worked in a really big engineering org. Like it was a startup, but I would say 75% of the company was engineers. We had like a whole bunch of microservices. We had a lot of product teams, and there was like 6 engineers on each product teams. Then we had teams in Detroit, in Palo Alto, in Toronto, and in Shanghai. So we had a really big engineering org. And yeah, nobody had levels. So it was just like you're a software engineer or you're a senior software engineer, and that's it. So I feel like I was comparing myself to other people on my team who was quote unquote just like a software engineer. We all had the same designation, but then once we all went to having levels, I'll find out that people I'm like comparing myself to, it's not even the same level as me. They a whole level or two above my pay grade. But it just wasn't that obvious at the time. So I don't know, I felt like I was just not making it, but I mean I knew I was making it because I kept on getting promoted. So I'm like, I must be doing something right, but it don't feel right. It's a learning experience though. It was cool, honestly. It was cool. It was just like I said, I was doing too much because I was working. So, but like I said, the job was intense. So I was working that job, um, 9 to 5. My job was genuinely like using my brain capacity. Um, and then I will usually leave work, either host a meetup or go attend a meetup multiple days out the week. For a whole year of that time frame, I also was planning a convention. We had to have weekly meetings. We had monthly in-person, like weekend long meetings, on-site meetings. Then we had to run the conference, which was a week, like a whole week straight of just basically living in a convention center, from sun up to sundown. No, from dusk to dusk, from dawn to dawn, whatever. It was like no sleep for like a week. Um, and then a lot of times I was like teaching too. I was live streaming. That's actually when I first started live streaming, learning how to live stream back then. Um, I don't know if Dre's still here. Dre know because he was here from the beginning. Like I used to come home and stream. I would be streaming. I would like get on. I would like come home, take a nap, get on stream at like 11 p.m. and then I would not get off stream till like sometimes the sun was coming up. It would be like 5 in the morning when I was going to bed, and then I would have to get to work in time for stand up. So it was just like foolishness. Not realizing you comparing yourself to someone who was more senior. Yep. I was so mad by the time I got like I don't know. You can't go back, but anyways, I do feel like I might have been I didn't really find out about like I didn't they gave us levels right when I was leaving, right when I had decided like I'm just not about to do this no more because I feel like I'm pulling myself in too many directions. And that was hard to do. It was mostly because like what the work I was doing there, was not in line with what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be moving towards machine learning, and I wanted to be doing JavaScript and Python. I was doing like Java, then I had to start learning Kotlin, and like it just those that's such a big context shift. So I think I wouldn't have been as it wouldn't have been as bad if like my side projects and stuff was in the same languages. But since it wasn't, I basically had to choose. But I do think that had I recognized that I was basically comparing myself to people that was two levels my senior earlier on in that process, I don't think I would have been as inclined to leave, because at that point I felt like I was just running a race that I could not win. Um, and then come to find out, it was like, why they do marathons? Why are you running with them? they've been doing they've been doing this, but it's all good. It's all good. Mm-mm-mm. Trip down memory lane. But yeah, I'm about to get my life together for real. I'm hungry. I feel a little bit better because I was feeling like frustrated. People keep calling me on some foolishness, or like people keep just asking me weird things, and like a lot of weird stuff just keeps popping up that I'm like, just breathe, just be patient. And it's not really people, it's really like it's just too much going on. I'm overstimulated. I'm overstimulated. So that's why I'm like, I can't believe that this has only been a week. The house has only been running for a week, and it feels like it's been at least a month and a half. Legit, like legit. I feel like I've been doing this for a month and a half. And it's been 7 days. So as things calm down a bit, like I said, this week I have less to focus on, and then I did like the biggest thing I have to do most of the time is like bringing the presenters. I do got to beef up the schedule and stuff for the people that we have in the hacker house, but for right now, I can basically take my time, kind of getting that figured out throughout the week. But I know for sure and for certain that I want to braid my hair. So that's probably what I'm about to go do right now. Cinnamon loaves, do you stream at all? I'm not on my I don't got my normal why is this continuity cam even on? How is it on? Why is this on? What is trying to use this camera? Let me see something. Hold on. FaceTime. Camera. I'm so confused. Oh, this one right here. Hold on. I know it's weird. Just give me a second. Okay. I'm wondering, like, why is continuity cam on? I'm not using it. Oh, look at me, baby. He was so cute. He was so cute. He's still cute, but he was so adorable as a baby. Oh, you do a bit, not any kind of structure though. Look, I didn't have any structure until I decided that I will definitely stream every day. This is the most structure I've ever had. Which is actually no structure at all. It's like some days I might pop up for like 2 minutes. Like if y'all wouldn't have been talking to me today, I promise you I would have been gone by now. I done streamed from my bed. I done streamed from the coffee shop, everywhere. The other day I streamed from the taco. Went to this it's like kind of like a lightweight like Mexican restaurant. Um, we went to eat there. I streamed from there. But I will find you and follow you though. Let me see. I'm working on me see. Cinnamon rolls. You were making me want some cinnamon toast crunch for real. You streamed yesterday. That's enough. Shoot. Usually I go on people's pages and dang, you can't tell when the last time was they streamed. I went MIA for like a year and a half, maybe. But I'm following you now. So hopefully I will catch you whenever you do go live. Look, do what makes you happy and don't like overdo it. I'm doing this challenge right now because that's what is making me happy. I didn't like how I was always making excuses, but also I am more so trying to lean into my like developer advocate, developer educator type of work. And so it's a like that's my personal goal, you know what I mean? But you got a whole full-time job. Enjoy yourself, okay? Don't sit here and overdo it because burnout is real and content creators like are the worst. Like we be the worst at burnout. Even now, I'm sitting here talking with y'all and it's cool. Like I'm chatting, but like I will sit here and talk for 3, 4 hours knowing that I'm tired and should have gotten to bed a long time ago. Just because when I'm in it and I'm doing it, like I'm enjoying it. So a lot of times I'll just keep going. um So I've been trying to just find something that's more sustainable. That's why with this challenge, it's like it's 365 days of code, but every day is different. I some days like today, it's just an update because I already had to teach earlier. I was doing like a MVP developer training, so I already did a lot of my like work for the day. I'm not necessarily doing it on stream, but I'll still get on stream and just talk about updates and stuff like that. So Hogwarts Emo Dragon, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I'm happy to have these streams like as a way to have an outlet. Sometimes I just get on here and just be reflecting on just what's going on. I'm enjoying this process. I am really enjoying this process. It was really challenging in the beginning to get used to um making the time, but once it was like once I made it a requirement and not an option, that made things a little bit simpler for me. And since it's a requirement and not an option for me to do it every day, that's what makes me get more creative. And I've been getting out of my shell as far as like feeling like everything has to go a certain way or I have to do everything the way I've always done it. I've been getting creative with it. I even y'all missed it. I did a VTubing stream not that long ago. Um everything I'm really trying to get my YouTube channel together though. So everything all the streams I actually live on YouTube. And I haven't nobody's seen it yet. It was like in the middle of the night. It was like late at night and I was only doing it for like a few minutes, but fun facts. Go find that VTuber stream. I did a VTuber. I was a VTuber for one day. But yeah, so I just been trying out different apps, trying out different layouts, trying out different streaming formats. Sometimes I am actually working on a project, and now that's what my this layout is actually for. But my monitor is not hooked up right now because I just brought my laptop back over today, so my computer ain't even hooked up or nothing. So sometimes I work on projects. Sometimes I will be catching up with like developer conferences and things like that. A lot of days, if I really have to focus, or if I have to study or something, then I would just be a lo-fi girl. I would just be a lo-fi girl. Um, it's Nicole. I, yeah, you watch the stream all the time, but Yeah, streaming is a good motivation. I think it's a good motivation. I just think it depends on the type of person that you are. Me, it's a good motivation for me, but it is daunting sometimes too because some days I just want to go get in my bed and I'm like, I gotta stream, and you don't really want to show up like, you don't want to show up like, it's a certain type of way you want to show up. I guess is what I'll say. Like I don't feel like I have to be the utmost and just trying to be like this over the top like entertaining type of person necessarily because that's not really my style. But if I was just sitting here, had a bad attitude, nobody would watch me. Or I would become a meme, which is even worse. So yeah. But no, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hanging out and everything like that. I will be back tomorrow. I've been streaming from the Hacker House, and I'm working on my audio. Like the reason why my audio is like I literally just using the FaceTime camera and the microphone on my computer right now because I just came into the house and I'm like, dang, I didn't stream yet. I don't have my adapter and everything to like hook my mic, my mic and headphones and stuff. I don't. I gotta dig my adapter back out of my bag to hook that all back up. So I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. It's not super bad, but yeah, this is not even like my normal audio or anything like that. I'm just using the camera as is. But yeah, I'm just working on it now that I redid my setup in OBS and I've been using Restream for like the past week or so. I've been using Restream and I like how it's working so far. So I'm going to keep working on this, but I had to completely redo my entire setup in OBS from Streamlabs OBS. So that's why I don't have like any alerts or anything like that. I just have my overlays basically. So I'll be back tomorrow. I have to do. Oh, why was I thinking tomorrow was Monday? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, but I have to go to church in the morning, and then it depends on how we feel. A lot of times we end up hanging downtown and getting some just getting some air and spending some time. So sometimes I don't stream till later on Sundays, but I'm excited, and I hope I'll see y'all back around. And cinnamon loaves. I'm gonna see if I can. Hopefully, I'll catch your next stream too. Um, I saw you were doing an art commission, so that's really cool. Yeah, I hope everybody has a great start to their week. I consider tomorrow to be the end of the week, but if you consider it to be the beginning of the week, have a good start to your week. Otherwise, on Monday, we killing it, we crushing it. Don't overdo it, but we go getters over here. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.